Well, it's that time of year again. Well, let's just say it out loud. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. If you don't like either of them, well then happy shut the fuck up, okay? Whatever winter solstice holiday you prefer, have a good one. So, for my end of the year movie review, I figured I'm going to take a step back from something. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do an actual family movie. Yeah, family movie for once. Yeah, I haven't done one of those yet. And it's not horror related, I swear to God it's not. So, I went to my local Blockbuster and I just happened to get a VHS copy of Jack Frost. Yeah, Jack Frost, you know, the Kevin Costner one? You know, the movie where he wants to go back and spend time with his son on Christmas because he died and he never was really a good dad and he was kind of a dickhead. And you know, it's a good family movie, good Christmas family movie. So, for the last movie of the year, let's get this over with. Well, before we get into that, I'm going to show you guys what I've been drinking for today. I'm not going to be drinking no shitty Pabst Blue Ribbon. We're doing something special for the holiday season. We're going to have some Sex Panther. Yeah, some double chocolate porter. Because you know what? If you haven't heard about this shit, then you're just a slack-jawed faggot. Because this shit will turn you into a sexual Sex Panther. Just like me. Oh. Here's the remote. Now let's get this shit started with Jack Frost.
You want a happy story? Or do you want a scary story?
I want a happy, scary story.
Happy, scary story.
This intro is a lot different compared to the last time I saw this movie. Granted, I haven't seen this movie in a few years, but let's continue watching. Maybe something will joggle the memory.
Well, Jack would get up, eat something, then hurry off and kill someone. Because that's what he did. He killed people. He'd stick knives in their faces and cut out their tummies, then stamp on their heads till their brains got all runny.
Uncle Henry, I don't think this is such a...
You wanted a story. You got a story.
Okay, there's something off here. There's something way off here. What the fuck is this? Come on, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? Oh, I should have read the label before putting the tape in. This is Jack Frost, not Jack Frost. Fucking some snot-nosed jackass kids must have switched the tapes on me before I rented it. So who has my tape? I guess we'll never know. You know what? I really didn't want to do a fucking horror movie for my Christmas special, but I guess things just work out the way they're supposed to be, so I might as well. Let's give this a watch, or continue watching. This is Jack Frost.
So after that creepy intro, we see a truck that says State Executional Transfer Vehicle.
Yeah, because you know those trucks exist.
This is where we meet our main killer, Jack Frost, where he's on his way to get executed.
Filtered.
Canned.
And they just happen to cross the county line into the place where they caught in Snowminton. Really? Okay, so this is where we get our first kill of the movie, and it happens to be the cop in the back of the transfer vehicle that was smoking a cigarette. And just moments later, they have a car crash with a chemical truck, and that's when Jack Frost gets out. And just like you expect, the chemicals get on Jack, and it causes this actually pretty awesome melting scene. But that doesn't kill Jack Frost. It just changes him. And this is where we get our main hero of the movie, the Sheriff of Snowminton. And this is where we get a flashback to when he caught Jack Frost.
This one, you are gonna regret.
That's right, Sheriff. You take a good, long look at this face, because the next time you see it, it's gonna tear your world apart. I'll find a way. I'll tear your town apart. I'll kill your family. I'll kill you. You're dead. You hear me? Dead.
And he just happens to come across the crash, and the lone survivor is shocked at what he saw.
I couldn't run. It was It was like he was trying to. But he didn't have the legs.
Then we get our generic family in the kitchen scene where they talk about who Jack Frost is, and his son is making him some oats for his dad. What a nice kid. You know what? More kids need to do stuff like that for their parents.
I think I'm gonna save this for lunch, okay? I'll put it in a baggie.
Coward.
And I'll have it for lunch, okay?
Some more.
Thanks. Fill it up.
Then we get the generic going through the town of Snowminton where they're having their snowman building competition. And this is where we get an introduction to a few of our victims, characters. One of them being Shannon Elizabeth in her first role.
You know, when I was a little girl, I always wanted to be the angel on top of the Christmas tree.
Good.
Well, Sally, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it.
Then we come across this fine gentleman, Tommy, making a snow angel with some nice snow tits, I must add.
Hey, wait a second. What's the difference between snowmen and snowwomen? No, really, what's the difference?
I'll see you, Tommy.
It's snowballs.
As the sheriff goes back to the station, he's told some grim news.
What's the matter? Somebody die?
Right, I don't want this thing spreading any more than it needs to. The whole town will go crazy. Once you get Doc Peters, take your foot off the chair.
So after thinking about it, he decides to call the FBI to confirm that Jack Frost actually did die.
Well, we had a killing down here last night, and I need to know that Jack Frost is really dead.
Oh, yes, Sheriff. Jack Frost did indeed die in the accident, that I can assure you.
So this is the point of the movie where the smart guy explains to the cop that the experiment wasn't supposed to be like this.
It wasn't meant to happen like this.
And we never got this far.
We hadn't even tested the acid on an amoeba, let alone a human cell.
You know, shit like that. Then we cut back to the home of the sheriff where his son is making special cookies. Ooh. And his mom gets super pissed off and he wants him to finish the snowman that he created out in the front yard, even though he didn't make it, supposedly.
But it's not finished. It needs a face. So I thought that maybe you could go outside and finish that up before.
Really? Do you need a reference to make a snowman? And his mom had 2 carrots. Where did the other one go? Anyway, as the kid is finishing up his snowman, okay, just before I continue on with this movie, I have to bring up one scene. It just bugs me, okay? So, has a trash can, right? And he looks like he's about to climb up the trash can to get to the snowman so he can get all this stuff on him. Then it cuts, and it looks like he just took one little small step. I don't know, it just bugs me. I wanted to say something about it, so let's continue. So this is when the bully comes out and starts bullying the kid because he wants to sled down the sidewalk? Okay.
I said move it. Are you deaf as well as butt ugly? You're standing in the middle of a black guy's sled run, snot for brains.
And then he gets his head chopped off.
I didn't do it.
Holy moly, right? Kill Billy!
So obviously the parents of the kid that just died think that the sheriff's son did it.
Look, I am truly sorry about what happened, but I have to believe my son.
Your son says a snowman pushed my son Billy. Do you believe that?
And this is when we cut back to the grieving parents as the daughter is trying to leave to meet Tommy. Even though her fucking brother just died, she's going out and trying to score with some random dude just a few hours after her brother died. Shame! Shame! Obviously, this makes the parents pissed off and calls her out on it.
And where in God's name you think you're prowling off to like some lady of the night? Her grief isn't good enough for you? You may not have cared for your little brother.
Jesus, Dad, I loved Billy.
Do not be forsaking the Lord's name in my house, little girl!
And she has this witty comeback to her parents.
Your Lord forsook this house long ago.
Move, bitch! Get out the way! Get out the way, bitch! Get out the way!
So the father goes out just to chill and have a smoke, and oh my lord, that looks terrible. I mean terrible.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He doesn't look like anything like the cover at all. This guy looks awesome. Where's this guy? Not this molded bird shit man with a face and eyes. I mean, what the fuck? This is just like Dark Universe all over again. And speaking about Snowman, how come every winter it's Snowman? Hear me out. It's not like they're snow women. You know, no one goes out and says, hey, let's go out and make a snow woman, right? No, because have you ever really stopped to think that snowmen have legs? No, of course not, but a snow woman could be wearing a long dress. Of course, I'm just assuming the snow person's gender. I mean, a man could be wearing a dress too, right? You know what? It's 2020, damn it. We're going to be calling them snow trans. Yeah, not snowmen or snow women. Snow trans. I mean, it's a snow trans because isn't everything in a snow person ambiguous? So you're just going to wait until a cis white man comes up and says, hey, that's a nice snowman. You'll be like, hey, how do you know it's a man, you cis white male Trump-supporting, meat-eating, gun-loving, redneck, inbred, BLM-hating, capitalist-loving Republican bigot? But I digress. But on a lighter tone, isn't it weird that this movie has a lot of similarities to the Kevin Costner movie? I mean, think about it. They're both involving people being turned into snowmen to fulfill like some type of weird like regathering of a certain character on Christmas or around Christmas. But the thing is, this Jack Frost came out in 1997. The Kevin Costner one came out in 98. But the thing about the 97 Jack Frost is that that's been worked on since 94. So, is there a correlation between these two movies? I don't know, but it'll be really funny to find out that this movie inspired that movie. I'd get a good laugh. Alright, anyway, I've been talking way too long about snowmen. Let's get back into this.
So what does he do? Well, he gets an axe and cut... Wait, what did he just... What the fuck? He just shoved an axe down this guy's throat with the handle end. Yeah, because you know that's the most obvious option.
Gosh, I only axed you for a smoke.
Oh my god, that was so bad. And if you think that's the only joke, you haven't experienced this shit. Then we get a cut to Sally in the living room just admiring all the decorations. Yeah, and she gets killed. It's not gonna be a happy new year for you, bitch. And what's with that Hawaiian music? And don't tell me that this is foreshadowing for the sequel. And the less I say about that, the better. But you did become the angel on top of the Christmas tree. And this is when the FBI gets involved so they can have a co-op in finding out who is the killer.
Marla, I want you to call around, see if you can get a hold of Joe Metzner. Oh, and call the FBI in Denver, too. Some asshole named Manners. Who are you?
I'm the asshole.
To help with this, they make a town-wide curfew to make sure the town is safer.
Under the advisement of the local federal officers, I am going to put the town under a 24-hour curfew.
And as that's going on, the guy that witnessed Jack Frost killing, he starts to go crazy, and they send him to the drunk tank so they can calm him down.
Get a hold of Paul. Take him somewhere, will you? Let him cool off for a while. Down to the jail.
Come on, Mr. Davro. Okay now.
Big nose.
Okay.
Sharp teeth.
So Tom makes one of his deputies go out to the house that made him freak out. And, of course, he gets killed.
Okay.
How does he drive? He doesn't have any legs or feet.
Am I really calling into question about how a snowman is killing people? Let's continue.
Okay, I have to warn you guys, this next couple of scenes is probably the best sequence of events I've ever seen in a movie. Okay, it's just, you know what, I'm just going to explain every piece of it. Okay, here we go. So, we have Tommy and Jill just waiting outside the sheriff's house. Great snow effects, by the way. So, they sneak into the sheriff's house, right? And they start to take off their clothes. And that's a lot of clothes. So, they're about ready to have sex in the sheriff's house, by the way. If I didn't state that before. Then Jack Frost comes in, saying the most iconic lines in the movie.
Who's out there?
Well, it ain't fucking Frosty. That's her body.
Who are you?
World's most pissed off snow cone.
And kills Tommy.
Well, what do you know? Armed and dangerous. Bottom of the ninth, 4 dead. Here's the wind-up and the... It's a long drive.
Cutting back to Shannon, she decides to take a bath in their house with the most questionable music playing in the background.
But for my final showstopper, feast your eyes on this!
I also want you to pay close attention that there's no carrot on his face. Where did the carrot go?
Looks like Christmas came a little early this year. Well, hope it was good for you, honey. Oh, I must remember to send flowers.
What can I say about that sequence of scenes? It's just... it's just so awesome. I mean, not the last part, but just the whole like scenario involving everything is just... so good.
So we go back to the station where one of the deputies comes back in the vehicle, but there is no deputy in the car. And this is when he finds out that the snowman is Jack Frost.
Oh, God.
Nah, Finch couldn't make it. Now look what you've gone and done. Made in America.
Huh, I guess he did find a way.
He came back.
And as they're in the police station planning out what to do next, Jack Frost melts into water and tries to seep in through the door. I like how you can tell that they're just using a regular garden hose to simulate Jack going through the door. Oh, and he also shoots the water, but you could totally see the ice cubes that they use to make the water splash. So they lock themselves in the jail cells and use aerosol cans to make the building explode and finally kill Jack Frost. But they had to get past their greatest obstacle, getting the keys from the door.
Don't leave without me. Pick him up.
Oh yeah, we need to get that guy out of the cell. I mean, if the guy didn't say anything, they were just gonna let him sit in there and die. Great people. So they get out of the building when it's full of aerosol spray, and they shoot it, it explodes, killing Jack Frost.
Or did they? No, they didn't.
I told you I'd take it out for you, and I did. He's come back before.
Oh, maybe Manley's right. What could have survived that?
Look, Ma! I'm a Picasso!
You gotta be shitting me.
Come on, run!
So they run into the church, and what the fuck is that guy doing? And this is when the sheriff finally confronts the scientist to see what the hell's really going on here.
Jack Frost was an accident. It was meant to be next-level genetic research. To ensure the survival of our race through a global holocaust, I created an acid that would bond a human chromosome helix with an inert material so that we could be resurrected in our future.
I wonder if he had coronavirus in mind. So they come up with another great plan, and this time it's to lead Jack Frost to the boiler room in the basement, so they can finally destroy him once and for all. So after making the plan, Jack Frost rolls into the church. No, I'm serious. Jack Frost literally rolls into the church.
Bus, hold up.
Shh. What? You feel that?
Do what? I don't feel anything.
You don't feel that?
Stampede a buffalo coming over the hill.
So they use hair dryers to lead him into the furnace, and it seems to work. And Jack Frost is finally defeated, thus ending Jack Frost.
You know, it's at a time like this when I think all we can do is turn our eyes up to the heavens and say, oh shit.
Nope, not this time. Do I have to teach you people about what a phase diagram is? I would, but this review is already getting too long and I want to get this over with. So Jack comes back for the second time, and as the FBI guy's about to do something, this happens.
Blow me.
This movie doesn't stop, does it? But that's what makes this movie so great.
So he gets his face eaten off.
Frostbite. Next time we'll use mistletoe.
And just before the scientist gets killed, he asks Jack how it feels to come back from the grave.
You're immortal. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels...
Then we get this part, and I really don't know how to explain it, so I'm just going to show you guys.
Fuck it. Don't eat yellow snow.
So Jack Frost comes outside by being puked out and traps him and his son into the police car as he's coming through the air vents. And this is when the sheriff, coming out of the car, throws his bag of oats at Jack Frost and realizes that it's hurting him.
Burning. He's burning. Oatmeal is making him burn. Honey, what did you put in those oats?
Sorry.
It's a good thing that you did.
I didn't want you to get cold.
Honey, what did you put in the oats?
Antifreeze. Sorry.
Wait. You're telling me that this kid put antifreeze in oats and served it to his dad? Kid, you almost killed your fucking dad. And I mean, dude, the mom was in the kitchen with him. She was in it. with him. I mean, she could have been like, oh, no, son, don't do that. No, she willingly saw this happening. She's like, you know what? Fuck it. Motherfucker's dead. He doesn't fuck me anymore. I know he's fucking that bitch Marla at the station. I mean, and later in the scene, he makes fucking cookies, like Yeti cookies. I'm like, what does he do there? Does he put kerosene in the frosting to keep his dad filled up for the day? I mean, you fucking psychopath. I mean, I'm getting way too offhand here. Let's just continue.
So they make another plan to kill Jack Frost using antifreeze, and damn it, third time's the charm. And why does he bleed? I mean, he's made out of snow. So our sheriff guy runs into the motel and gets him into a room with Jack Frost. This is where Jack Frost kills the sheriff.
Or does he? No. Come on. Well, yeah, actually, this is the end, so...
He just throws him out of the window from the second story of the motel into the back of a truck full of antifreeze, and that's the movie. For real this time.
So, that was Jack Frost. It's personally one of my favorite movies to watch every December. I wish I would have watched it with my buddy Renee, but, you know, the whole situation that everyone's going through. You gotta make sacrifices, but you know what? This movie is a great, addition to all your winter solstice holiday movies. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already. Well, you know what? I'm in a good mood. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm going to do a double movie. Yeah, I'm going to do a double review. I'm going to do the actual real Jack Frost. Yeah, the Kevin Costner one that everyone seems to know about. Yeah, you know what? Since it's Christmas, I'll do it. Okay, so let's get that shit ready. Let's do this. This is Jack Frost's 98 version. That movie sucked.